Welcome back to the Out of Bounds podcast. I am Gavin Williams alongside
Charlie Calieri.
The time has come. You know, it's been one hell of a ride, one hell of a season. And just before you know it, this upcoming Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. So
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
I really can't. I felt like we were just sitting down, turning on the game. We were about to watch a game in Brazil, about to watch a game in Philly. Jalen Carter just spit on
Dak.
Just spit on Dak. That felt like that just happened. But now here we are, about 20 weeks after that, origin of the season. And we're here now. I mean, one of the best NFL seasons I've experienced as a young football fan.
Yeah.
Excited to see if there's any more that can rival the season in the future. But I think part of the reason why I'm saying that, and I think a lot of people can agree, is the parity. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of difference this year. A lot of different teams, a lot of fun teams, new teams that were emerging, and a lot of new unsung players that I think were emerging. So I think it was a great season overall, and hoping that this game can be a good end cap to a great football season.
I think it definitely has the potential for it. But first, let's just kind of get into the overall week. Overall 2 weeks, honestly, leading up to this game. I mean, especially this week, obviously in Santa Clara, and we've seen a couple Super Bowls here before. Last one we saw was 10 years ago.
Super Bowl 50. I like that they do that. I like that. I'm not saying I want them to get number 70, or 80 or 90 or whatever, but maybe 100. But I think that having it, 10 years after in the same spot is a cool touch, especially when, it kind of breaks it up from the usual feelings of Atlanta and New Orleans and even in Tampa Bay or Dallas. You want to throw
LA
those teams
too.
in there. In LA. Now, even Houston. I guess the NFL does a better job than college football, I guess, in mixing up their championship sites. But
it's also a lot easier because there's a lot more domes nowadays.
They've done Minnesota before, so so they've done a few different. And now Tennessee could be in play.
Yep.
Jacksonville could be in play in a few years.
Washington
as well,
D.C. will be in
Washington could be in play. That would be a great one.
Yeah.
Definitely, Super Bowl location expansion is going to be on the horizon too. So something that's very cool as well. But talking about this game right here, Super Bowl 60.
Yeah.
I mean, monumental game right here for the NFL.
Yep.
One of the best. I don't know. I think NBC calling it is pretty good.
It's pretty good. I like Mike Tirico a lot.
I think
it was my preferred back when Al
Michaels
Michaels was on there.
I agree. That's
I'm
why
not
I kind
taking
of paused.
away.
That's why I kind of paused myself.
Yeah.
When I was saying that, but Tirico, I think, might push that over the edge. Tirico, busy week here. Is he doing the Super Bowl? That might be a dumb question. Is he doing the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Because the Olympics are starting on the 6th. And I know Tirico is a huge Olympics guy.
He is.
The Olympics guy. And I think so that's actually getting me a little, not worried, but making me question a little bit. Is Mike Tirico, as we know, obviously he's been doing Sunday Night Football the last few years. Will he be doing the Super Bowl this year on NBC? I'm not sure.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay.
Yep, Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. So we're good.
So maybe he's doing a remote calling of the Olympics this year.
Maybe.
Because I hope to hear Mike Tirico on the Olympics.
Well, I think, when you just have such a big game like this, you take those first 2 days off. And then you go fly out to Italy.
I think he's maybe fine with it. Maybe instead of saying I'm going to Disney World, he said I'm going to Milan.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. So,
maybe that is what he's doing.
Shout out to Tirico.
Syracuse grad right there.
Hope you call a great game. And I think you will.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Keep Collinsworth in check.
Yeah.
But let's start talking about this game right now. It's going to be nice.
Right before, and it's going to be nice. I have one really quick question.
Okay.
How do we feel? So I think there's two different sides of the story because I think on one of them it looks great, on the other one it looks awful. Okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly what you're going to talk about.
How do we feel about the patches this year?
Oh, the patches
on
what
the
you're going to
jersey,
talk about.
yeah.
So,
I think it looks great on the Patriots.
If you're not aware with what the patches are, if you want to butt in here, if I'm going to get it wrong, but I think just the way, I think the Seahawks, right, have an extra, owner patch or something.
The 50th anniversary patch of their franchise.
Yeah, on their jersey, which if you're a captain, you have that patch.
Plus, yeah.
You have the Super Bowl patch. You have that patch. And then you have just the Seahawks jersey in general makes it look like there's another patch there as well.
Well, there's a patch this year. It's a shield. It says 250 for the 250th
yes, and for
birthday.
the America, yeah. So
which is a really sweet. I love that.
Yes,
love that.
4 patches if you're a
captain.
If you're a Seahawk, and like I mentioned, if you're on the Seahawks, you already kind of look like you're wearing like they have stuff on their shoulders already. So somebody pointed out the Chiefs one from last year, 2 years ago, when they had, because they had already 3 on their jerseys if you're a captain in the regular season. So would have been 5 if they made it. That would have been nuts. I want to ask you a flip question, because what I thought you were going to ask me was about the uniform matchup.
Okay.
Patriots are going with all white.
Yep.
All white.
They have the choice.
I would have preferred gray pants.
Okay.
I would have preferred gray pants.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people would. It's more of a Patriots look to me.
Yeah. Specifically, I don't agree.
No.
For this year. Well, my biggest thing against the Patriots is their uniforms. I hate them.
Me too.
I hate their uniforms.
And same with the Seahawks.
I'm not a fan of theirs either.
Yeah.
But I think with the white jersey, the white pants was the right call. If you went blue jersey, then silver pants was the right call.
I think you go silver pants regardless because of the helmet.
Yeah,
I think it looks goofy when you're wearing the white socks.
I think it looks
white
really
pants,
cool, though.
white jersey, in a silver helmet, especially.
They were
especially because
in
I'm
all
saying
whites.
I know the all white is a good jersey by itself, but you gotta think. I think what teams don't think about is the other team. You gotta think about the other team. The Seahawks, they only wear all navy. They don't wear gray pants ever. They don't wear white pants ever. They only wear all navy. That's their navy uniform. So if you're gonna pick white, if you're the Patriots and you're gonna pick white, which you're undefeated in, by the way, this year you're 5-0.
That's
why they picked it.
Yeah.
I think you go with the silver pants. I think just for the aesthetics wise. Obviously they weren't going with that. It's the first time ever in Super Bowl history that's gonna be 2 solid color uniforms on both teams.
Huh. That's interesting right there.
There's been the Seahawks before, obviously, with they're all blue, but then the Patriots had blue pants in that. And then there's been times where teams might have worn all white, but the other team was wearing white pants and whatever. So interesting right there.
That is interesting.
Which is another reason why I think they should have worn silver pants. But I think this will be one of the worst Super Bowl uniform matchups in recent history.
They had a great opportunity to do something crazy. They didn't do it. If they went throwback versus throwback, that's what America wanted. America didn't get it. I understand why. It's really rare to wear an alternate jersey in the Super Bowl. I think the only one of recent memory that I can remember is when the Rams wore their alternate uniforms, because that's when they had the gray jerseys as their away jerseys. I don't know if you remember that. But in the Super Bowl, they wore their whites.
That's what I'm saying. They wore the whites and they wore the yellow pants, and the Bengals wore their beautiful black jerseys and their white pants with their orange socks.
Orange socks, yes, that is what it is.
It was one of the best. That game in general, I think.
The last game on NBC.
Because we talked about right before we clicked record on this episode how this game, the sun will be out at the start. And I think it changes the vibe of the game a little bit. It makes it more of it could be a Rose Bowl vibe. It could be a 1 p.m. on Sunday. Or on CBS kind of Sunday kind of vibe.
Okay.
I'm hoping that we get the Rose Bowl vibe from, Santa Clara.
Sunset vibes are really cool.
That would be nice.
In football.
It's always what you prefer, but
by the end of the game, it'll be pitch black.
End of the game, it will be dark, so it won't matter as much. I just want to get your Super Bowl kind of prop bets right now, just while I'm thinking about them.
Yep.
Over under 2 minutes for the anthem.
Who's performing this year?
I don't know.
I can't answer that question without knowing who's performing.
I just want to know.
All right, well, I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to see.
Gatorade color.
Gatorade color, I'm always like a big, like either lime green or like a blue.
I'm going with blue. I
like blue because both teams wear blue.
I always default to it's the easy
But the Seahawks could be lime green.
But then they pour it in orange, and then you're like,
and then you're whoa.
What's going on
and the
here?
purple years.
Dude, they threw out the water the one year, and everybody went nuts because did they throw water on Belichick? Is that what just happened? But I just want to get. I always think about the and then heads or tails for the coin.
Always tails.
I always go tails. As well.
It's Charlie Puth this year.
Charlie Puth. I'm going over.
I don't think Puth's going over.
I think he drags it out, man.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think Charlie drags it out?
I think Puth is good with his words.
See You Again.
By the way,
like that song, See You Again, dude. He dragged that song out.
He did, but like,
let the light shine away. Hold every memory as it flows away. Something like that.
I don't know. Charlie Puth. I'm actually kind of excited for that. Did you see?
Good.
Little fun fact. Just saw it on my TikTok. Since we got talking about Charlie Puth, this is not a Charlie Puth podcast.
No, it's not.
But he's making a yacht rock song.
Is he really?
With Mike McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
No, he's not.
He
Are you serious?
I'm dead not serious.
Wow, dude.
Unless I got pranked on TikTok, but he posted himself.
I hope you didn't. No, he posted himself. He's active on TikTok.
And he showed you the vocals. He showed you the beats,
Ooh.
the guitar,
I gotta go see
piano.
that. You gotta show me that video after this episode. That's really interesting to me. Shout out Charlie Puth.
Yep.
Didn't realize I was such a fan, I guess, of Charlie Puth.
Well, now with the Yacht Rock, I mean, that's what.
So yeah, I mean, gotta be a fan of him if he's named Charlie. So, shout out to him. I think he goes over.
I think it goes under
personally. First commercial after the kickoff.
Ooh.
What do you think?
You know, I'm always.
And this is a big one because I feel like this year might be more predictable than other years.
I think it will. I think it might be like a State Farm first.
Oh, you think?
I do. There's a lot of hype up for this one.
I think it's going to be an America commercial.
Oh,
I think it's going to be USA.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a USA 250 commercial.
That's
I think
true.
they're going to.
What's your favorite slept-on commercial?
My favorite slept-on commercial? You know, I will say consistently Doritos used to put out some of the best ads, but not sure if it's underrated or not. But avocados from Mexico.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same
Avocados from Mexico has got to be.
They're in the list. They're the most underrated every single year.
It's got to be. I mean, they have one every year.
And it's always great.
Only know they never have a commercial any other time of year.
Only Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl. Avocados
from Mexico.
It's awesome.
Love it.
Everybody loves it. Everybody sings it.
Yep.
You know, those are some good prop bets I think that we established. There's more, but
there's way more.
We won't get into the specifics. But if you're interested in, you know, letting us know, we have your prop bets. Let us know.
Yeah, come on. We want to hear what everybody thinks about the Super Bowl.
But let's get into the specifics of the game now. Let's talk about the football.
Yep.
Let's get done with the commercial. Even though I could talk about the commercials and stuff all day.
I could too.
But because that's part of the Super. It is part of it, man.
It's the aesthetic. I mean,
part of it.
That's why, like, when it's Super Bowl Sunday, I'm not the biggest fan of any talking really at all. I just want to be watching, even if it's commercial time. Like, I don't want to hear anybody talk. I want to watch these.
I'll say this, and I won't be watching, and I won't. I'll compare it to the on New Year's Eve. I'm sure you might have been with some people that are huge Stranger Things fans.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got to watch this. I got to watch this episode. I got to sit through for the 2 hours and be quiet and whatever. I feel like people don't give the Super Bowl the same courtesy. But it's the same thing.
It's the same.
It just happens every year. I'm sorry, but it happens every year. You need to be quiet for those 4 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours. Whatever it is. I'm sorry.
If you're
but that's the end of my season. That's the end of my show.
For me, I think
for the year.
I think a really good.
That's the season finale.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
The biggest I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest episode of the year. It's when it all comes together and all finishes up. Why do people think it's okay to kind of overwrite it just because it's a sport? Just because these guys are getting paid millions of dollars, which the actors are too?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing too that I think about.
I don't know.
If there's a halftime show that I'm not fond of, that's my time to talk.
Which I think you will. I think you will find that this year.
I think I'll be talking a lot more.
Me and Ryan Taylor, Bill's correspondent, we're talking about that. I'm a big Kendrick fan. I'm a huge Kendrick fan. He was not the right pick for the Super Bowl halftime last year, and he's not. I think any rap artist or hip hop artist, in general, if they're rapping specifically, like Kendrick was last year, would not work for the Super Bowl halftime show. It's more of an upbeat, you know, fun. That's why I think Pitbull should have done it when he was in Miami. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
And I think they're in a little bit of a lull now.
They really are.
The last one that was good was probably the one in L.A. with Snoop Dogg and
I wasn't even a big fan of that one.
See, a lot of people weren't a fan of that one, but I liked it.
A lot of people did.
Some people like The Weeknd. Maybe even
I love The Weeknd one.
Before that, if people didn't like that one, if you like Shakira and J-Lo,
that was a good one too.
Go to that one too.
Bruno Mars,
but that's far away.
That's far.
Coldplay was 10 years ago with in San Fran. Also one of the better ones, I think, underrated.
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas was great too, but I think you might see an underwhelming halftime performance this year, and that would
even
be
Justin Timberlake was great.
Justin Timberlake was great.
I was a big fan of that one.
He was great, and that's when Selfie Kid.
Yep.
That was
Selfie
the whole
Kid.
thing. That was
wow.
Yeah, he was on Ellen right after that. Yeah. They used to be a huge deal.
It did.
Getting on Ellen.
It did.
Like those kids, like, you know, viral internet. You know, sorry, that's a little side tangent there. Super Bowl preview, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get into the
Ellen DeGeneres finding her way in the episode.
Let's get into the Charlie Puth and Ellen DeGeneres. If you had those on your Super Bowl prop bingo card for the preview show,
congrats.
Yeah,
you're cashing
out
big.
Making out big right now. We are not. Let's talk about the quarterbacks in this game.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold versus Drake May, both inexperienced in this spot, and up to this point, both haven't had a playoff win before this year.
Yep.
In both teams, I guess, in that sense, we're talking about the quarterbacks, but both teams in that sense also are very inexperienced.
They weren't supposed to be here, both these teams.
No, they weren't. Both these teams wrote them off. Both different paths to get there too. The Seahawks, while people, it was unexpected. You know, people were like, all right, they're legit though.
Yeah,
you know,
they
we
respected
can see
it.
that the Patriots the whole year, you know, myself included, up until even last week and in this week too.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know, when will the wheels fall off type of season for the Patriots. Not this team's legit, even though they have the same record. They're very comparable teams. And this will be a good matchup, I think, the more that I sit down and look at this. I mean, it's easy to be like, oh, yeah, the Seahawks beat the better team, quote, quote, in the championship game. That'll make it an easier Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah.
You get 2 weeks to prepare. That's why they do it. And I think the Patriots, with their coaching staff, which we will talk about, coaches, will be prepared well. But for the quarterback specifically here, what are your initial thoughts about Sam Darnold versus Drake May?
I love when two guys get into a Super Bowl that have never won a ring, and specifically about two quarterbacks who've never even started in a Super Bowl. I think this is what makes the NFL electric. And I think the biggest thing, too, that you were talking about of stories how to get here were Mickey Mouse run versus like the NFC West.
That's kind of what I'm alluding to. Yeah.
And it's hard when your team's there and all you hear is Mickey Mouse run. You know how frustrating that is? I mean, I do. When the Celtics won their championship, all I heard was Mickey Mouse run. But you know what we say at the end of the day? Almost every single time we get on, you can only play your own schedule.
You can only play your schedule. And
You're big.
I'm the guy that you know, you can only play your schedule. And I said that when remember when Ian was here, our Colts correspondent, we were talking about the Houston Texans, and I said this team's 2-3. But they played a really tough schedule. The Seahawks were one of those teams. I think the Patriots might have been one of those teams. We were talking about how good their defense was before their defense really took off. I think that's kind of the similar situation to where you're kind of doubting a team. You know, I think the Patriots were doubted all year, especially Drake May, who I'm still a doubter of. But like you were saying, you got to play your schedule. That's all you can do. And I think the Patriots, you know, they were just given an easier path, I think, and that's just what they earned, I guess. I don't know. It's not their fault they're winning games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can get as mad as I want about the Bills being like, oh, the Bills would have beat them. But I can say all I want. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
And the reality is the Patriots are in the Super Bowl right now, and they have a good chance to win.
They do.
Good chance to win.
Now we'll talk about Drake May, the man who it's a tale between him and Matt Stafford for MVP. One of them's in the Super Bowl, one of them's not.
I think it goes to Matt Stafford.
I think he still does, unfortunately.
I think it does.
Not taking away from Matt Stafford. I just love me some Drake May. Drake May, you know, he's a small town kid. You know, straight out of North Carolina, went to Chapel Hill. He's the guy who's earned his way there every single level he's been at. He's earned his way there. He went to North Carolina. He sat behind Sam Howell, and then he got his chance. He balled out. He went to the league. He sat behind Jacoby Brissett, got his chance. Balling out. He's a guy who is a nitty-gritty guy who's going to earn his way there, and he earned his way to a Super Bowl. Very hyped for him. Now we have the tale of Sam Darnold, who once said he was seeing ghosts against the same team. Well, not same team, but same franchise, different team. You know, he comes out as a third overall pick, and he was third, right? Third overall
yeah,
pick?
He was
third overall pick for New York, the Jets, Jets. And he has had a career roller coaster to get where he is.
I will say this guy, I mean, make a movie about this guy's football career.
If he wins this year,
especially if he wins this year. I mean, the storylines are a big part of sports, and I say that every week, I think this storyline is shaping up for Sam Darnold on that stage.
On the podium.
Lifting up that Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's lifting up the MVP trophy, but I can see him standing on that stage and lifting up in the stadium that he was the one that was passed over when they got injured QBs.
Yep.
When a team that passed him over a few times, actually, to be their QB when they were rumored to get Brock Purdy. You know, they were rumored to bring I remember that when they were rumored to bring Sam Darnold in. Facing the team that he struggled, like you alluded to, struggled against the most in his career so far. He's 0 for 5 against them or 0 for 4 against them.
Yeah.
At some point, and for this team also, the Seahawks, who have been through actually, you know, they've been pretty successful, been through kind of a lot in the last few years with losing their MVP quarterback very quickly.
Yep.
That timeline was very quick from when we were talking about him being an MVP halfway through the COVID season to when he kind of just was, quote, where he is now, kind of out of the league a little bit.
Yeah.
To being where Geno Smith in that era to now 1 year with
no
Sam
Pete
Darnold.
Carroll.
When he didn't, first year without Pete Carroll, first year without Tyler Lockett. I mean, a new era in Seattle, and you usher that in the first year, potentially with the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't write it better than that.
No more DK.
Can't write it better. Yeah, no more. It's a new era in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And all these guys on defense have really taken over that new Legion of Boom 2.0, Witherspoon, Woolen, all the whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
The whole defense.
I think too when we talk
sorry,
about.
I was meant to talk about Sam Darnold here, but it just goes to show I think the whole team, how I think the storyline is shaping up for Sam Darnold and that team to play well in that game, first of all, and for Sam Darnold to potentially be holding up the trophy at the end.
I think the thing with Sam Darnold too versus Drake May, the thing that you ultimately look at is the supporting cast. You look at Sam Darnold's supporting cast. You have JSN, who is one of the offensive players of the year. You have Cooper Kupp, a Super Bowl MVP. No, not MVP. He was the MVP, right?
Yeah,
Super Bowl MVP. You have Kenneth Walker, which we'll get into in a little bit. And
Let's talk about the running backs now. Let's get into them.
And I think this is a really fun conversation to have because specifically, you have 2 running backs, 3 if you want to include everybody from the Patriots, but just looking at starters, we're going to compare Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker, both kind of middle of the road guys. You know, and Ramondre has had a up and down year. Specifically, well, I'm going to say down than up year. Because first 5 weeks of the season, he was fumbling more than anybody in the whole league. And he really, really found his stride in the second half, more towards the end of the season, into the playoffs, really taking off. Then we have Kenneth Walker, who shared a lot of touches with Zach Charbonnet. And especially the goal lines. I mean, he had so many drives where he single-handedly took that Seahawks offense down the field. He gets taken out, and Zach Charbonnet just does the rest. And I think you used to have 2 guys who were in some really good backfields who are just shining right now because they're both middle of the pack guys. They're not top 10,
No.
Like, they're both middle of the road guys that are just, they have a lot of weight. I think that's the most underrated matchup are these running backs and which one can truly break out for a 20-yard run.
And I think we can agree that Kenneth Walker is probably the best running back that's going to be playing in the game.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But
my guy.
But that Patriots backfield is probably better with Henderson and
Henderson,
Stevenson. I mean, Charbonnet going down, and I talked about this last week. I think if the game was last week, I think the Patriots would have the upper hand in the running back room. I think they would. But I think that extra week of letting Walker rest, make sure that he knows the situations that he's definitely going to be in, and not that have to be a shock, I guess. That's important, I think, when you're getting prepared for a game, having that mental, readiness to be like, all right, I'm going in the goal line.
Yeah.
I'm ready to put my head down and go get that score. I think that those 2 weeks of being ready for that, it's going to help him maybe get in the end zone one time during this game too.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly how they're going to mix in their backups if they are at all. They're going to have to change up their scheme a little bit.
Yeah, it's just
because they ran a lot of plays with Charbonnet this year. On the Patriots side, I think the biggest thing is it'd be easy to keep the hot hand, keep Ramondre, rolling, and you want to do that if he's going.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the more important thing in the Super Bowl is keeping guys fresh.
Yeah, that is really big.
I think every down, maybe every 2, if they have a good play, you keep them. I mean, you swap them out every play.
Especially how
I don't think you
great
get too worried about third down back versus whatever. I think it's just like if Ramondre's in there, then he's in there. Yeah. I think you just roll with it. I don't think Henderson's that much of a worse back than Stevenson is.
He's not. I mean, once he gets an open field, he takes off.
That's what I'm saying.
He's out.
The guy's one of the fastest players in the league. He can score longest
from
touchdown
anywhere
of the game if he wants to. But I think in general, if the Patriots can handle the workloads well, I think they'll have the upper hand.
Okay.
I think if they don't, I think then Seattle will have the upper hand in the running game, specifically the running game.
Yeah.
But also, the running game too will be helped. I think the Patriots will have more rushing yards because they naturally run the ball more. Yes.
Yeah.
But also Drake May also runs the ball more than Sam Darnold does, and that'll be another factor too. Is
in the quarterbacks.
Can the Seahawks defense contain Drake May?
That's the question.
I think they can, but he's a shifty guy.
He is. He's one of those really sneaky shifty guys too.
Let's get into the defense now. Let's talk about them.
I think that's another tale of the game where the defense is you have a bunch of misfits on one team, and you have some names on the Seahawks. And I'm not taking away from this Patriots defense because they have been arguably in the top 5, top 6 defenses in the entire year, which with especially the second half of the season, especially in the playoffs, of how they've rallied and truly helped get where they are right now. They wouldn't be anywhere if they didn't have the defense the way they're playing right now, especially against every team they play in the playoffs. I mean, you have just guys who really know how to work together. This is a defense where I can look at it and I'm like, yep, that's a rallying defense. What I mean by that is when you have someone that's getting tackled, it's not just a one-on-one. You have 5 guys coming in for some backup. It is a wolf pack that is on the defense. I think that's what really helped them even just get to this point. And I think that's going to be something that they really need to embrace in this game. When you have somebody like JSN, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker, when they have the ball, you're going to need 3 guys to bring them down.
Yep, it's that. It's easy to say, like, never give up mentality or never stop working mentality, but in the Super Bowl, like, obviously,
yeah,
it's got to be what you do, or else it might. That little play of you not, going and pushing over a guy might be, he might get out of that wrapped up sack that you think he might go for 6. So, I agree with you there. I think, which defense do you think is better?
I honestly think that on paper it's the Seahawks, but I think.
That's not really what I'm asking.
No, I know.
I think it's on paper it's the Seahawks too. But
I just feel like the way that the Patriots play, I like their brand of defense more.
That's what. Okay, so that was kind of the answer to my question was, I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really know
tough.
I don't really
They're
know
both
who's better.
really good.
I think it depends on, but I think based on the matchups, I think the Seahawks just might have one too many guys for the Patriots to really be able to contain, especially. And I don't think I'd be saying that before the NFC Championship game, but knowing that Jake Bobo scored a touchdown and that Cooper Kupp had the 4 catches that he had, which were pivotal catches.
Very.
But even just that one catch from Jake Bobo, having that other option just makes you think a little bit more about, can that and the Patriots don't really have that extra, they have Kyle Williams, I think, in their back pocket, but they don't use him. You know who they're going to be going to, I feel like. The Seahawks
It's pretty much just Diggs, Booty, and Henry.
Yeah, and the Seahawks are going to
Pop Douglas, too.
To JSN about 10 times in the game. You know that. They're going to A.J. Barner 4 or 5 times in the game. You know that. But you don't know how many times they're going to Kupp. They could be going to Kupp 8. They could be going to Kupp 2. Maybe Jake Bobo gets 2 catches in this game.
Maybe
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Rashid Shaheed's a player in the passing game this game and not more in the special teams game. I don't know. But that being said, I think that the Patriots have one less guy on defense than the Seahawks do on offense.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
I'll agree with that point.
But I still think that the defense are very comparable, very aggressive.
Very. I mean, the Patriots have a blitz-heavy defense.
Yes.
They're not afraid to send them.
And the Seahawks don't necessarily have a... Nah, they kind of do have a blitz-heavy. I don't even know.
They're
just an
scary.
aggressive team, man. They're just a big team and just a good defense, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're hungry, too. I think
they're
that's
hungry, but they also
get
in their own heads as well.
Yes.
I mean, specifically about Woolen last week, we saw him get in his own head and cost his team a touchdown.
A big thing, I think,
drive.
that might push the Seahawks over the edge in this game, another reason, is the experience on the defense. I think they have a few more guys that have played in these spots more than the Patriots have.
Yeah,
not specifically in the Super Bowl, but in big games, like DeMarcus Lawrence, for example. Like, guy that, was in Dallas for the first 10 years of his career, took a leap of faith, left Dallas, thought, I love it here, but I'm not going to win. Not going to win. So he went to a team that when everybody's signed, they're like, oh, you said you want to go win, now you're going to play for the Seahawks. Like, what are you doing? But look at him now. I think he's hungry. I think he's going to have a big game in this game.
I think he will too.
As well as that D-line.
Yeah.
But I think him specifically, he's going to have a big game. And he might be walking out of there with that would be a good story, I think.
That would be good
with
for
him getting a ring. I'm sure there's a guy in the Patriots like that too.
Specifically, a guy in the Patriots, I can't remember his first name right now, but a guy who really just does it all for that team, my guy Tonga. He is the guy who, I mean, on defense, he's electric. He's a really, really good up-the-middle stopper, but he gets thrown in. Right? He gets thrown in for some heavy sets on offense where he's a fullback, not taking the ball, just laying out middle linebackers to create space for Ramondre.
It's kind of what the Chargers were doing with Scott Matlock, who was there. He literally was the D tackle / fullback. That was his position this year. So I think that might be a trend coming with, but they don't do anything about the tush push. You might see a lot more of these jumbo sets.
I like jumbo sets.
Speaking of, let's talk about coaching now.
Yeah.
When we're getting into schemes and stuff. Generally, I'll ask you again, who do you think is the better coach in this game? It's a tough question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who do you think is a better coach team?
Mm-hmm.
And what coach do you think has a better handle on their team right now?
Okay. Wow. Better coach. I'm going to go Mike Vrabel. I think he's the coach of the year. I think that he's the best coach in the AFC. I'm going to say that right now just because of what we can see.
Fair. There's not many left.
Just what we can see and what he's done. And not
literally like 7, I think.
But, I mean, not even a year, and he's taking this team of like they call themselves like the Misfits. You know, like they're road warriors. They have just a different type of just mindset when they have a guy that's around. Mike Vrabel, which will also answer your third question with who has a better control of their team. I think Mike Vrabel does. I'm not taking away from Mike Macdonald because he's a phenomenal coach. Phenomenal. He has a really good grasp of that defense. But this is the thing that I'm going to take away from Mike Macdonald is our guy Kubiak. I mean, I just don't know what.
You don't think he's going to be like invested in the game or what?
I think
he will be.
He is the reason why. One of the reasons why the Seahawks are this far right now. I'm not taking away from Josh McDaniels because he is a big reason why they're there.
Okay.
But I think more of the reason why the Seahawks are there is because of Kubiak, who is leaving after this season. So maybe I'm not saying he's not locked in because it's the Super Bowl. Everybody's locked in. But he's going to the Raiders, and I don't know. I just think that he has a lot to juggle
I think that's
right
just
now.
tough to say because McDonald's obviously a defensive guy. So it's like...
Well, so is Vrabel.
You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that's kind of a hard point to make where... You're saying that
I just think that what McDonald does for that defense is not as... It doesn't weigh the same as what Vrabel does for his defense. Specifically, because of the amount of weapons that McDonald has, he should be doing what he's doing.
Okay.
What Vrabel's doing with that defense that he assembled is far more impressive.
Okay. So you're saying Vrabel's doing more with less.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree with that. I would say Vrabel right now is slightly the better coach.
Yeah, and I'm not saying by a lot either. Yeah.
It's slight. And I think he does have the better handle on his locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
they really rally around him.
Yeah, I think that this year especially, and I think it's cool because you can kind of see a trend, and maybe this trend will continue, but I think the last 2 or 3 years before this season were about the names, the flashiness, the big names, the big players, the big plays that would happen.
Coaches?
The top player. No.
Oh, you're not?
No.
You don't think so?
I'm saying the flashiness. I'm saying because think about the teams that were in these conference championship games.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bills, Chiefs last year. Mm-hmm. Commanders, Eagles. What do all those teams have in common? They were just hot. Mm-hmm. They were elite offenses, first of all
of them.
And they were fast.
Mm-hmm.
The year before, Niners, Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, like same kind of thing. You know what I mean? You can go year before, kind of the same thing. I think this year, you're getting more to the schematics. I think you're seeing that coaching is more of an emphasis for some reason this year, which is maybe why so many coaches have been fired this year too.
I think so. The way this season has gone,
that's what I'm saying. I think that you see with all the injuries that have gone on this year, you really see an emphasis on how much coaching really matters when those big players that, go when they're not there, like a Jaden Daniels, for example. When he's not there, the Commanders aren't going to be able to get to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, you see how valuable he is rather than a Dan Quinn. But, if
that's true.
If you went down on I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of just that balancing act right there. But I think that's cool to see those kind of trends of coaching this year has been the emphasis of a team. And I think chemistry has also been a big emphasis too, which is why you see these two teams fighting for the Super Bowl right here.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
And then the X factors for this game, let's touch on it. One from each side. Coincidentally, they play the same position too.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to do that, but obviously for the Seahawks, we got to talk about JSN.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year in my book.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to give it to McCaffrey. I don't know. That's a discussion.
It's up for debate.
That's a discussion. But I think overall, JSN has to be the guy. He's probably got to get 8 to 10 catches.
Yep.
Probably got to get 130 yards, 120 yards.
That's the struggle that this Patriots defense is going to have.
Yep.
You can line JSN in any single spot in the receiver offense.
But I will say that I did mention that the Seahawks have one more guy, but I think it's because they're going to have to put 2 on JSN. I think that's what I really meant.
Okay, yeah.
I think the Patriots have a good enough secondary to cover the Seahawks receivers, but if you leave JSN there on even Christian Gonzalez,
you're going to need help over the top.
I think you're going to need help over the top, and I think if you don't help, I think if you do help over the top, then you're exposing
taking
Barner
away, in
the middle of the field. You're exposing Kupp on the sideline, or you're exposing Rashid Shaheed on the other side of the field.
We haven't even mentioned him yet either.
So I think JSN, if anything, might be more of a decoy in this game.
He might.
Now that I'm talking, he won't be, but I think in a way he's always going to be decoy for the team to try to draw attention away from his other players. That's why he's so great. Why he's been so great this year and why that offense has been so great.
Flying around.
On the Patriots side, you talked about maybe it could be Hunter Henry, a guy
just
like
because
that.
of matchups.
Maybe, and I agree with you, but it's got to be Stephon Diggs.
It's got to be Diggs. Well, I guess we either count Drake May in there
too.
We already
talked about the QBs. They got to be good.
Yeah.
If the QBs aren't good, I mean, that's a given.
Exactly. But I mean, Stephon Diggs is the X factor.
But like we said, if JSN doesn't have a good game, we could still see the Seahawks coming out on top of this game. If Diggs doesn't have a good game, and I'm not saying he needs 10 catches or 8 catches even, but if he doesn't have 6 catches for 80 yards, I don't think the Patriots win this game.
If he doesn't find the end zone, maybe they don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he, obviously his first Super Bowl, so he wants to make a point here, but he's got to have a game if he wants to.
He does, especially. I mean, we look at the receivers of the Patriots.
They want to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, and I look at a guy like Kayshon Boutte, who's my favorite Patriot. Actually, I love that guy. He's a stud. He is a stud, but he's not X factor worthy of a guy. When you have someone like Stephon Diggs, your leading receiver on the team with over 1,000 yards before the playoffs, we know who Drake May's favorite target is. And we saw it just in the AFC Championship game. He threw it in a triple coverage on a 5-yard slant because Diggs was there.
Honestly, now that I'm because a lot of the times when we talk about the game, this is my first time really sitting down and thinking
a full
about
analysis of this.
Yeah. So now that I'm really thinking about this, what role do you think that Mac Hollins might have in this game? Do you think he has a role in the pass game at all? Do you think he finds the end zone? I don't know. I could see Mac Hollins getting that 5-yard catch, in the, you know what I mean? Either throw a fade to him or throw that quick slant. They love that little quick route. The Bills did it too. And he's great at it. He's got great hands, so he can catch those. But do you think that he has a role?
Well, I think Mac Hollins has 2 roles on the Patriots team. Specifically in the pass game, he's the last option. When you're a quarterback,
you don't think?
Yeah, when you're a quarterback, you go through your reads. And I'm not taking away from Mac Hollins. He's just going to be your last read because he's not that guy. But we did see a couple times last week where he came up with some costly catches that helped the Patriots get over the hump against the Broncos. I just think that this week in the pass game, I don't think he's going to have a role. But what his role comes in is on the run.
Right, yeah.
Because he's a great blocker.
I would say he's the best. Somebody can say somebody else, but from when I've been watching run blocking wide receivers, focusing on that,
you don't see anybody that takes.
Yeah, I think he's the best because that's not something that you watch all. You're 12 years old starting to watch the NFL. You're not watching how Antonio Brown's blocking. The corner. You're just watching his routes. But Mac Hollins is that guy. It's such a valuable skill too.
It is,
and he's one of the best at it. And it's
stock blocking is the most underrated aspect of football because if the running back gets on the outside, then you only have one man to beat. If your guy,
they have the perfect running backs for.
They do, and if you don't have a Mac Hollins out there to really secure a good block, that makes the difference between a 5-yard pickup and a possible touchdown.
And I will say, wide receiver is one of those positions you need aggressive guys. Before we get into our trivia right here, but wide receiver is one of those positions you need aggressive guys because you always need to block. No matter who you are, you're gonna have to block. So Diggs, by association, I think is a good run blocker. I've seen it.
Yeah.
At times, not always, but I think also Kayshon Boutte, he's an aggressive guy too. He's got to be a good run blocker, right?
He is.
And I'm thinking about the Bills right now. We don't have any aggressive wide receivers, so I think that's part of the problem too. Is those little plays where you don't really think about it much, but where a guy gets a 2-yard gain on the outside near the sideline. That could have been a 60-yard gain if he just got one step past the guy.
Exactly.
Those little plays that have turned the tides for the Patriots this year. have gone a long way, obviously, for them, and now look where they are.
Exactly.
In the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60. We will get to our predictions in about, say, 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. If you want to skip past the trivia, go for it. Listen to our predictions, but we're going to get into some trivia right here. Gavin's got some questions he's going to be asking me.
I do.
I'll be answering them. Just like last week on our conference championship episode. If you haven't listened to that, go check it out.
Absolutely.
And I asked Gavin some conference championship questions. Now he'll be just returning the favor and asking me some Super Bowl questions. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, Charlie, you know what the Super Bowl is? It's a big stage. So you have a big stage of trivia coming at you. All right?
I'm ready.
And I'm going to... I don't necessarily have an order to these questions.
The computer is closed.
The computer's closed. Mine is open, obviously.
Yep.
I have no specific direction of the order of these questions. I'm just going to ask.
Okay.
But I am going to try to start off a little easier and try to make my way up.
All right. I'll just let you know I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
All right, Charlie, your first question. Who has thrown the most touchdown passes in a single Super Bowl?
Ooh. Single Super Bowl. Trying to think of high-scoring Super Bowl performances. And Nick Foles.
It is not Nick Foles.
Is it Tom Brady?
It is not Tom Brady.
I thought it was from the Eagles-Patriots game.
That's a great guess.
That was my best guess.
We have Steve Young for the 49ers. He threw 6 in Super Bowl 29.
I thought 5 would have been the record there. That's incredible. That's it. What Super Bowl was that?
Super Bowl 29.
Super Bowl 29. So that was who did they play in that?
I don't have that on this sheet.
I think it's the Chargers.
I think it was the Chargers.
That was the first one.
Or the
Bills,
Bengals. One of those.
No. What?
Either the Bengals or the Chargers. I can't remember which one.
It was the Chargers, I think, because that was the first Super Bowl after the Bills were not in it. And I think the Chargers were the first AFC team to get there after the Bills in 1995.
Okay.
Pretty sure. So, shout out.
Next question for you.
Steve Young.
Who was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP?
Ooh. Well, it should have been Damian Williams.
Should have been.
Should have been Damian Williams.
Absolutely.
I mean, and we need to start a dialogue about this and taking it away from Patrick Mahomes because that was the most BS Super Bowl MVP that should have been given out. I'll
stand by that too.
I get so mad every time.
Against the Niners, you're saying?
Yeah, I get so mad the first one in Miami.
Yep.
Wow. I'm still really mad about that. But the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP. Can I ask a question?
Depends. You can ask it. I don't know if I'll be able to answer.
Was it before 2000?
It was. I'll give you that.
Okay. That helps me a little bit because I was, the gears were going in a little bit in the head. I'm just gonna go with Emmitt Smith.
It was Terrell Davis.
Oh yeah, the Broncos.
In Super Bowl 32. It has been almost 30 years.
Oh.
Since a running back has won
against
Super
your
Bowl
Packers,
MVP.
I think.
I think it was.
I'm pretty sorry, but against your Packers.
I know we're gonna stay on the same direction.
Just before 2000, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like just before. I think it was 97.
Yeah, they won 97, 98. I'm pretty sure.
And here I'm just gonna, because we have a snowball effect. Who holds the record for the most receiving yards in a single game for the Super Bowl?
Oh. These are some tough questions, man. I'm trying to think of another hot, maybe had a long catch. I'm going to go with Hines Ward in the Steelers won Super Bowl.
It was Jerry Rice.
Hey, maybe I should have guessed Jerry Rice.
Super Bowl 23, he had 215 yards.
You know what? Maybe I'm underrating the offensive powerhouses that happened in the 80s and the 90s. Because when I think of defense, I think of before 2000. I think of offense, I think of after. Maybe I need to flip that in my head.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Who is the only
My bad, folks. This is a bad showing right now.
Who is the only special teams player to win Super Bowl MVP?
Is this a kicker? Punter? Is this
going
Ray Guy? I'm just going to guess Ray Guy. Because
it is not Ray Guy, but it is my guy, Desmond Howard, of the Green Bay Packers against the Patriots.
It's a little... Okay. I mean, yeah, but sure.
He had a 99-yard kickoff return. Touchdown.
Makes you wonder if the Bears win that one. Does Devin Hester win Super Bowl MVP
true.
that year?
That's true.
Does that
against Colts?
Does that get broken right there?
That probably does.
Because people talk about it. I mean, one of the most iconic Super Bowl plays ever. First play of the Super Bowl, and you return that for a touch. I mean, unreal. I don't know how people, Colts fans, really mustered up to watch the rest of that game after that, or Bears fans even mustered up the thought of losing that game after that kick. Imagine in that moment, you're like, we got to win the Super Bowl, man. Like, first play. Yeah.
Ready for your next one?
I am.
We have, how many Super Bowl rematches have there been? You know I'm a big fan of Super Bowl rematches. How many Super Bowl rematches have there been?
So we're not talking about, like, how many times it's happened.
Just, like, how many matchups?
How many matchups have been repeated?
Yes.
Okay. So I know Patriots, Seahawks, if we're counting this year.
Yeah, we're counting this year.
Patriots, Eagles, Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, Niners, Bills, Cowboys, that's one. Colts, Packers, I'm pretty sure is one. I'm gonna go with 7.
7?
I think 7.
It is 10.
10?
Really? I'll name you the matchups.
Yeah, please.
So you have the Steelers and Cowboys 3 times. But I'm just telling you the amount, too, because it's just interesting. Patriots, Giants.
Yep. Oh,
they met twice.
Yeah. That's bad on my part.
Patriots, Rams have met twice.
Yep, that's also bad on my part.
Patriots, Eagles have met twice.
Oh, so I was... Okay, I don't know why I thought Patriots, Eagles wasn't.
It was, yeah. Patriots, Seahawks, including this year. We have the Chiefs, Niners. Cowboys, Bills. Dolphins, Redskins, or Commanders, sorry. It's Commanders. At the time, it was the old name.
You're getting taken off the air, man, because of that.
Very sorry about that. Yeah. Then we have the Niners, Bengals. They've met twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Niners, Bengals, yeah.
And then we have Chiefs, Eagles. There's 10 different matchups for you. All right, next question.
Wow. Wonder what the next one's going to be.
I wonder what it is. Okay, I mean, we have one this year, but wonder what.
No, but like I feel like after this, I feel like that's a decent question about what could be the next Super Bowl rematch. There's a few options.
Yeah. Which Hall of Famer has the most rushing yards all time in Super Bowl history?
Hall of Famer has the most rushing yards of all time in the Super Bowl in a single game.
In Super Bowl history. So
okay,
you can have more than one game in there.
I'm gonna go with Emmitt Smith.
It's Franco Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't have a number, but
they played in a lot. Maybe I just didn't think he had the amount of yards. Maybe I thought more touchdowns than anything. But yeah, shout out to Franco. Rest in peace, Franco Harris. You were a dog.
Yeah.
Absolute dog. Dog.
Stud. We have, which city has hosted the most Super Bowls in history?
Now, I could have been that guy and looked up a lot of this stuff before.
You could have.
Yeah, I could have been, and I didn't. Because I actually thought about this when I was last night. I'm watching the Clips game, and I'm like, where have they played the Super Bowl the most? And I thought about this moment. I don't want to look it up because I don't want to be that guy. With that being said, I'm gonna guess New Orleans or Atlanta.
It's Miami.
I know it's a cop out, but
Miami with 11. Either. Miami has 11 Super Bowl hosts.
Maybe they played a lot in Miami, like early days. It was warm. It was February. They don't have domes yet. Yep. They're like, let me just go to the warm city.
Yep.
So that kind of makes sense. That's.
Now these last couple of
now
ones,
I want to know though, like since 1980. Since the Super Bowl has become like a thing, like where it's a 2-week event, a week event, type of thing. Is it still Miami? After that, do they like? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So.
Now I'm gonna give you some fun ones. Those ones were pretty just Super Bowl trivia. I'm gonna give you some fun ones now. First question for the fun ones. Which has come up more in the Super Bowl? Super Bowl coin toss, heads or tails?
Ooh, I have no clue.
It's a close battle.
I have no clue, and it's a coin flip.
It is a coin flip.
I'm gonna go with tails just because tails never fails. But I feel like it's heads. I feel like it's heads though, so I'm gonna go with heads. But I want it to be tails.
It is tails. They're winning the all-time series 31-28.
So it's not 50-50.
It's a close matchup though.
What was the last few years? I want to look at the stats of the last few years because I feel like
it's been tails for
I feel like it's been heads.
It was tails last year, I thought.
It was tails last year, but I thought
before that they had a couple runs.
Oh, I know. The year before that it was heads.
Huh.
I know.
How about this? Which team owns the record for most points scored in a Super Bowl game?
Just one. I'm gonna say the Niners. In that game that Steve Young had all those touchdown passes.
It is not the same game, but it is the Niners in Super Bowl 24.
That's incredible.
With 55 points.
Super Bowl 24. 24. So that was the Chargers one.
I think that was. That was a BTA.
Yes. So then the Bengals one was the year after where you threw all those touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So, wow. Shout out to Steve Young and the Niners for how dominant they were in the mid-90s. Wow.
All right.
Sorry I'm getting all these wrong, folks, too. I mean, these are some tough questions, too. I mean, I feel like maybe some of them, I've guessed, maybe Hines Ward wasn't the best pick. But, he did.
You got to love those, though.
He did win Super Bowl MVP, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I thought he carried Big Ben for a game. I don't think that's that crazy to think.
I have two more fun ones for you to end off. We only have two more questions.
Let's finish strong.
Which performer drew the biggest audience in Super Bowl halftime show history?
Is it like, I'm going to guess Kendrick. It's not my real answer, though.
It's not Kendrick.
I'm just guessing that because it was last year. Like, just because I just think every year it, goes up. This is, specifically, halftime. People are sitting down and watching the game. Is it recently? Kind of recently? You can't tell me
I
that.
can't tell you that.
Because so I'm thinking a few things here. Okay, I'm just going to walk you through my thought process. I'm thinking, obviously, the easy pick is it's a recent one like The Weeknd or Shakira or J-Lo. Those are my two of the recent ones that I would pick.
Okay.
Or it's Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Back in the day. Because it's Michael Jackson. So, but at the time, at the
time, yeah.
I'm going to go Shakira and J-Lo in Miami.
It was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has the biggest audience in Super Bowl halftime show history. So you just walked yourself out of that one. That one's going to sting for a while.
That one will sting. But do you see where I was coming from with that thought process?
Yeah, no, I could see where you were going.
And you know what? I should have thought if it wasn't last year's, it wasn't going to be any recent one. I should have thought that because...
Yeah. And here's your final Super Bowl trivia question.
Got to get this one right. Need to get this one right.
I don't think you're getting it right.
No?
No, this is a tough question. I think that's why I saved this one for last, because it's super funny.
Can I guess what the question is?
Yeah.
Is it what Gatorade color has been dumped the most?
No, I should have looked that one up, though. I should have looked that one up.
That would have been a good one. Because I wonder.
Yeah.
Maybe it's orange.
This has happened only one time. Okay.
Okay.
Which one-time American Idol star is the only singer to land exactly on her Super Bowl national anthem song on the over-under?
Okay, so you might not know this about me, but I'm actually pretty well versed in American Idol trivia, which makes me think it's Jennifer Hudson. But there's also Carrie Underwood, and there's Kelly Clarkson.
There's some names on here.
And then there's there's some. Is it one of those three?
I can't say.
You can.
I can't.
You can, though.
I can't say.
It's not like Clay Aiken.
I can't say.
Clay Aiken.
I can't say.
It's not Clay Aiken. He didn't even win. Can you repeat the question, please?
Which one-time American Idol star is the only singer to land on her Super Bowl national anthem song length over-under?
So it's not Clay Aiken.
I just gave you the hint right there. That's a her.
Okay. It's not Ruben Studdard either. Or David Archuleta.
Nope.
Any of those people. You know what? So Kelly Clarkson was the first winner, right?
I think so.
I don't know if Jennifer Hudson won. But she seems like she would land right on, you know what I mean? Like I can picture her I'm going Kelly Clarkson, the first winner of American Idol.
The answer is Kelly Clarkson.
Let's go.
If you're curious, it was 1 minute and 34 seconds.
That's incredible, by the way. Shout out to Kelly. Because you always think about Carrie Underwood, obviously, with, waiting all day for a Sunday night. Kelly Clarkson. I mean, shout out to Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great question, man.
Thank you, sir.
I thought Jennifer Hudson might be in the conversation there, but that's shout out to J Hud too.
J Hud, yeah. So there you have it. You have the Super Bowl trivia, but don't leave yet.
Don't leave yet.
We still have the biggest part of our episode right now. We have the predictions.
Essentially the biggest part of the season.
I think so.
The culmination of the season right here. All of the picks that we've had. And unfortunately, we did kind of fall off on the picks at the end of the regular season. So we don't have the final tally for you specifically. But let's just say it was pretty close. And this is for all the marbles. Let's say that.
Yeah, we're just doing this.
Let's say that.
For all the marbles.
Whoever wins this one
wins
the year.
Wins the year.
For the picks.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
First of all, before we pick who wins the game and we give our score predictions, who wins the Super Bowl MVP? Maybe you want to give that out after.
I think that's an after.
All right, but be ready for that.
I already got it locked in.
And then I want, if not even based on your prediction, I want your actual MVP, and then I want one that's like a wild card. You know, Juwan Jennings almost won.
No, yeah, we voted on that.
I want a guy like that. So, go ahead. You're up, kid.
Super Bowl 60, Santa Clara, California. Sun will be out for some of it. There'll be nighttime for some of it. Game's at 6:30 Eastern Standard, which means it'll be at 3:30 in California. We have a rematch of, obviously, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. One that we saw in Arizona happen crazily with a Malcolm Butler interception. But now it's a tale of new stories, new teams, new coaches, new everything. With that being said, in my score prediction, 27-21, I have the New England Patriots raising their 7th Lombardi Trophy, tying Tom Brady's record. Let's go, Pats. Go get it done. Find a way.
Tying Tom Brady's record. I love that. You've been on the Pats all year.
I have.
You've been on the Pats all year in all playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect that. I picked against them every single time. Throughout the regular season a lot, and especially throughout the playoffs, I picked against them every single game.
Yep.
For my pick now. Now, both owners have been in the news the last week. Rob Kraft, also not getting in the Hall of Fame, which is insane.
This is just getting unreal.
Which is insane. It is getting unreal. Maybe that was because of the Belichick situation. I don't know. Bob Kraft in the news. Also, Seahawks in the news because after this game,
they're selling the team. Selling the team.
Not saying that's a good move or bad move. I'm not sure if that
just don't come out with it before the Super Bowl.
You know, in process before whatever. But Kubiak's gone after the Super Bowl, and apparently so is the owner.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think I would have just waited for after the season to announce I was selling the team.
Times could be changed, but maybe though that might drive up the price.
It might drive up the price though.
Be like, we got a team in the Super Bowl right now. Start bidding.
Yeah.
And if they win, that bid's gonna double.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but whatever. Both owners have been in the news. I thought that was a little interesting to note because
it is.
Usually you don't see two owners in the news in the same week, but especially not when they're playing each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So with that, I think all year, it's been the season of the underdog. I think that's been kind of the story of this season. A lot of teams that weren't supposed to be here, like these two.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys that weren't supposed to be in the positions that they're at. Sam Darnold, Drake May, for example. Two coaches that didn't think they'd be in this spot probably 2 years ago. Mike Vrabel sitting on his couch watching the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McDonald was packing up his bags and moving to Seattle. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me either.
But, with all that being said, I think that the 12s are going to show out in Santa Clara. They know their travel path there. They know what hotels they're going to stay at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Seahawks travel well. They play well on the road. I've talked about this. They play well. Maybe we'll see in a neutral site. I think they take this game with almost the same score that you had. Seahawks win this one, I think, 27-19 on the backs of their strong defense. I think that the 19 comes from the Patriots trying to come back a little bit in the game. Maybe get 2-point conversion or miss a 2-point conversion at some point. But think it's a close game overall throughout the game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle for the first half, maybe open up a little bit in the third quarter, but that the Seahawks come out top this season, and I think that they're going to be the Super Bowl champions, which I would not have said before the year, but kind of glad I'm saying it, actually, now that I'm sitting here talking about it. So, and, I've also thought about it a little bit. I have a little bit more of a, you don't like the Seahawks, I know that.
I don't.
But I won't compare it to how much I hate the Patriots.
Yeah. There's a completely different hatred.
I will say, though, it's kind of the same feeling for me as the Chiefs. If they win, they win.
Okay.
Those fans have already won so many times that it's probably not going to mean much more to them.
Yeah.
And I think it'll mean much more to the Seahawks fans if they win.
It will.
New era, new quarterback, new guys. I think the Seahawks take this one 27-28. My numbers for the Super Bowl pool are 5 for New England and 6 for Seattle. So I was trying to work that in somewhere, but I don't think 26-25 will be the final score. So,
well, now we have to get into the Super Bowl MVPs.
Super Bowl MVP.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's JSN.
Yeah.
Which he right now is the third favorite odds behind Sam Darnold, Drake May, and he's third. I think that he's the best value play maybe of all time to be a Super Bowl MVP. I think he's their best player. I think he's the guy that drives their team. I think he's their MVP. I think if they win the game, he's going to be the reason for it, like we were talking about. He's the X factor for that team. So I think he would be the Super Bowl MVP if they win. Now, my wild card, I'm going to throw Stephon Diggs out there if the Patriots win. Even if, Drake May is a great game, Ramondre Stevenson, maybe Ramondre Stevenson is an exception because running backs can, you can score 2 or 3 times and still get it.
Yeah.
But I think if Drake May has a good game, it's because of Stephon Diggs. And I think because of that, Diggs might be my wild card Super Bowl MVP for this year.
I like that. For my Super Bowl MVP, I have Drake May. Obviously, for the team I'm picking, it's got to be the quarterback that corresponds with it. Drake May's come a long way this season, and if he doesn't get that MVP, hopefully he'll have the Super Bowl MVP, which means a little bit more. Now for my wild card. I think my wild card Super Bowl MVP is Marcus Jones. Okay, now let me explain.
The corner?
The corner. Marcus Jones.
Talk to me here.
Marcus Jones will have a lot of different matchups in this game. He's going to be matched up probably against JSN a couple times, Cooper Kupp. I'm with this, I'm going to say he gets an interception.
Well, he would have to.
But there's something that people don't realize with Marcus Jones. He could have a punt return touchdown.
Returner, right? Yeah.
If he has a return touchdown plus an interception, which is what I'm predicting, it will help lift him up for my wild card Super Bowl MVP, Marcus Jones.
A la Cooper DeJean potentially last year. For a little bit, we were thinking that when he housed that.
The pick 6, yeah. Ooh.
Which, by the way, nobody talks about that enough.
Nobody does.
That a rookie picked off 2 passes in the Super Bowl, first of all, but return 1 for 6 and almost won.
Against Patrick Mahomes,
Super Bowl MVP against Patrick. Unreal. Marcus Jones, I love that pick, first of all. Rashid Shaheed's kind of in the same ballpark here. He does have better odds than Stephon Diggs.
Wow.
I don't even see Diggs on this list right now. It's only the top 6. But the top 6 are in order. Darnold, May, JSN, Kenneth Walker, Stevenson with a big drop-off after Kenneth Walker, and then Shaheed right after Stevenson. So,
interesting.
Odds makers like Drake May if the Patriots win the Super Bowl to win.
Yeah.
And if the Seahawks win, it's kind of a take your pick a little bit if they win the game. So, interesting there on the betting front, I guess. I love that Marcus Jones pick actually as a wild card. That might be worth a little sprinkle if you're a betting man.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
But what a season. We will be back for the recap of the Super Bowl at some point next week. But maybe another episode coming later this week. We'll stay tuned for that. Keep your ears peeled. Keep your eyes peeled for those YouTube notifications as well.
Absolutely.
And our Instagram if you're not following that.
At Out of Bounds Podcast with a dot between every single word.
Thank you, Gavin. Gotten anything?
I love the Super Bowl. I love Super Bowl Sunday. I love the hype up for everything, and I'm just excited for this game. Really excited. I will be wearing my roommate's Rob Gronkowski jersey, cheering on the Patriots.
Do you think there's going to be any moment that it's like the lights go out or anything do you think that anything like that might happen this year? Just not specifically.
I think there's going to be a bench clearing brawl this year.
There's going to be like a fight?
there will be, whether it's big like the end of the game like last time.
I'll even just take two guys, like 4 guys coming together and fighting.
Somebody's gonna hit.
Right.
Somebody's gonna hit Darnold late. Somebody's gonna hit Drake May late, and there's gonna be some bench clearing.
You know what? Honestly,
4 or 5 guy brawls.
I agree with you. I could totally see that now. I can see Drake May getting hit. It's still early in the game. I can see his light out. I can see a guy hitting him. I can see one of those O-linemen from the Patriots near the Patriots sideline, just walking up to that DeMarcus Lawrence, whoever it might be, and then I can see Tariq Woolen running in from the back and trying to get into that play, and then Marcus Jones or somebody's like, you're not doing that.
Not my QB.
In there. Not my QB. Mac Hollins gets in there. Oh, yeah. I can see that, G-Will. I can see that, especially with the Patriots being on offense and the Seahawks on defense.
That's what I was thinking of, because, I mean, you see a lot of emotions in the Seahawks defense.
Love that. Might be the first ever brawl in the Super Bowl. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Avocados from Mexico.
Absolutely.
And as always, have a great Super Bowl. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday. And have a day.
Have a day.